Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And this is Santosh sir. And in this video, we'll be discussing about a few important questions on IBO 05. And the name of the subject is International Marketing Logistics. But before we proceed on to the video, today is a very auspicious day, and it is the birth anniversary of Lord Krishna, Janmashtami. And may God Krishna fulfills our dreams and aspirations. So with that note, let's start the video. And let's see the first important question that you might get in your exams. So first try to understand what is marketing logistics. Basically, it is a process of delivering the finished goods to the consumers in very simple words. And the main object is to reduce the cost and improve the customer satisfaction and smoothen और distribution process को जितना हो सके उतना smooth करना है. There should not be any complex and difficulty in the movement of goods. And basically logistics is all about movement of goods from factory or industries to the ultimate consumers. Now its scope is very large, and in the recent years logistics has been growing so fast, so you can even like build a good career scope on this particular field. Now let's see what is logistic management. It is a process of strategically managing the movement and storage of materials, parts and finished inventory from the supplier of the firm to the customers. So, there is not much difference between logistic and logistic management. Only this much that systematic, where there is management, there is planning, organizing, staffing, coordination. So, all these functions of which are the basic functions of management, so they are added. And let's see the importance of logistic management. It helps in the transportation of logistics smoothly. It helps to complete the orders in time and that too quickly. And it provides warehousing facilities to importers and exporters so that logistics or cargo can be delivered or moved as and when required. And it helps in the inventory management. That is, inventory means stock management. And the last one is it helps to handle the supply chain, right? So these are few important importance of logistic management. Okay, the next important question is what are the objectives of logistics management or marketing? And basically the broad objectives are to reduce the cost, which I just now told you about this, to provide better customer services, to increase sales. Let's see a few more important objectives are there, like to establish competitive advantage over the competitors and to develop effective communication system in the organization. Okay, the functions are also more or less they are attached to objectives and importance, like delivery of product, timely delivery. This is the demand of the day कि product को timely delivery करना है, and reduce the cost. And when you reduce the cost, that will ultimately leads to reduction in the price of the final product. Then in promotion, logistic management also helps to promote the sales. It is a sort of advertisement for the customers. So like this you can define all these points. And it adds place utility to the goods. Place utility means the movement of goods from a place where it is not demanded to a place where it is more demanded. Okay, the next important question is distinguish between domestic logistics and international logistics. As the name implies, the difference is quite simple. In domestic logistics, there is a direct communication and immediate control, whereas in international, it is very difficult to have a direct communication and control. And in domestic logistics, rules and regulations are clearly understood, whereas in international it is quite complex because different countries have different rules and regulations. And the third one is in domestic logistics the local languages are used, but here all international languages are used. So like this, you can write a lot of points, very simple difference. Okay. Now let's move on to the next very important question. What are the problems of shipping industries in India? बहुत ही कॉमन क्वेश्चन है, बहुत बार एग्जाम्स में आता है ये क्वेश्चन, तो इसको बहुत अच्छे से आपको प्रैक्टिस करनी है. फर्स्टली, इनएडिक्वेट कैपेसिटी टू हैंडल कार्गो, राइट. इंडियन शिपिंग इंडस्ट्रीज में बहुत अच्छी वेयर हाउसेस नहीं है, गोडाउंस नहीं है, जहाँ पे कार्गो को स्टोर कर सकते हैं ज़्यादा टाइम तक. एंड देर इज दिस इज अगेन अ वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम इन शिपिंग इंडस्ट्रीज ऑफ इंडिया, दैट इज शॉर्टेज ऑफ कंटेनर्स. कंटेनर्स, यू नो, दे आर, इसके ऊपर आगे हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, इसके ऊपर एक अलग से क्वेश्चन है. देन देर इज अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ, यू नो, ओवर एजेड वेसल्स. जो शिप्स हैं, इंडियन शिप्स, दे आर ओवर एजेड, वेरी ओल्ड वन. And there is a cutthroat competition in the foreign companies, especially from China and Thailand, all that. Then there is a you know, congestion. बहुत ही ज़्यादा ट्रैफिक है इंडियन पोर्ट्स में, कंजेशन बहुत ज़्यादा है. एंड देन inadequate infrastructure, that means, you know, transportation, communication, warehousing and all the other related facilities are not there in shipping industries. Now, what are the strategies to solve these shipping problems? First, more investment is required. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट करने की ज़रूरत है इस इंडस्ट्रीज में. सो गवर्नमेंट हैज़ टू टेक a lot of steps for this, like effective steps. Just framing policies is not enough. Then developing adequate containers. This is again a very big problem. Then integration of shipping and logistics. लाइक, यू नो, शिपिंग इंडस्ट्री के साथ में लॉजिस्टिक्स का इंटीग्रेशन, कम्बिनेशन होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. नहीं तो, यू नो, शिपिंग इंडस्ट्री इतनी अच्छी डेवलप हो नहीं पाएगी. देन वेयर हाउसेस मस्ट बी कंस्ट्रक्टेड एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ मोर सी पोर्ट्स. सो दीज आर द स्ट्रैटेजीज which can be adopted by the government of India to solve the shipping problems. Again, these are again issues and challenges with Indian ports. Indian ports में क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही है? First, very high turnaround times, port congestion, just now I told you about this. Then suboptimal transport modal mix, then limited hinterland linkages and lengthy inspection and, you know, scrutiny. तो port में बहुत ही ज़्यादा lengthy process है, and there is inadequate infrastructure and technology used in Indian ports. So like this, देर इज ऑल्सो इश्यूज विथ रेगुलेशंस. बहुत सारे रेगुलेशंस हैं, कस्टम फॉर्मेलिटीज़ हैं, जिसकी वजह से, यू नो, इंडियन पोर्ट्स आर वेरी बैकवर्ड इन कंपैरिजन टू अदर डेवलप्ड पोर्ट्स इन द वर्ल्ड. देन देर इज एन इश्यू विथ पीपीपी मॉडल. देन एनवायरमेंटल impact is also there, like, you know, frequent cyclones, floods, so all that also are affecting the Indian ports. Then social impact is also there. Most of the projects and development result in, you know, displacement, because the local people, they don't want, you know, improvement in the port areas or port facilities. Then there is a problem of manpower and labor issue and unhealthy competition. ये बहुत ही important problem है as far as, you know, Indian ports are concerned. So these are basic problems. बहुत important question है. Now let's see the measures needed to improve the Indian ports. Okay, first one is, you know, environmental clearance and tariff norms, land acquisition. So these need to be standardized and implemented to boost the foreign investments. And there must be good connectivity of rail and road transport with the Indian ports. And priority should be given on expanding the capacity and improving the operational efficiency of the ports. Latest technology should be used in the ports, and the regulatory regime should be made less complex. That means, you know, कोर्ट में जो you know, rules, regulations and formalities हैं, उनको कम से कम, थोड़ा और कम किया जाए. Then with regards to the ports, you know, this Vijay Kelkar committee, they gave a report on PPP. So इसका ही रिव्यू होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, बिकॉज दिस वॉज वन ऑफ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रिपोर्ट गिवन बाय मिस्टर विजय. सो दिस हैज़ टू बी रिव्यूड. Then, you know, the ports should be modernized. There should be modernization of ports. New ports should be developed. Port connectivity should be developed, like that. And This Niti Aayog in its 3 years action agenda plan has recommended few steps, so which you can mention in this in your answer. Okay. Let's see the next important question. What is the role of rail and road transport in the movement of logistics in India? As we know, because railways और roadways दोनों ही बहुत ही important means हैं transportation के, and obviously like इंडियन पोर्ट्स या फिर जो इंटरनेशनल ट्रेडिंग होती है, इंपोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट होता है, विदाउट द हेल्प ऑफ रेलवेज एंड रोडवेज इट इज़ क्वाइट इम्पॉसिबल. So as far as India is concerned, there is a huge scope for the development of these means of transportation. And basically, major roles played by the Indian Railways, how it plays, like it plays a very role in transportation. People prefer to travel by train. And basically the economy from the railways plays a very important role in developing the country. It gives employment opportunities to quite a lot of people, and small vendors and shopkeepers, they also get profited by selling their goods at the railway stations. Then railway stretches its hands in conducting services like business, sightseeing, pilgrimage. So all these facilities are also provided by the railways. Then it is quite easier for long distances, and it plays a vital role in national integration. So like that, ये बहुत ही common topic है. Like you can write a lot of points on this. And like that, road transport, how it plays an important role, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of road transportation. बहुत simple question है. Okay, now let's see. ये बहुत ही important question है. What are the different types of surcharges on the basic freight rate? ये बहुत बार previous exams में strike किया हुआ है question. तो देखते हैं different types of surcharges क्या क्या हैं. Okay, the first one is the basic ocean rates. ये तो हो गया जो आपका जो shipping company लेती है कार्गो के लिए. Then there is fuel surcharge, there is residential delivery surcharge. Then there is oversized package surcharge, and there is also a surcharge called Saturday surcharge. So these are the basic surcharges, and apart from this, all these surcharges can be categorized into this way. Like basic services rate additional surcharge, that is BSRA. Then we have another type of surcharge, that is bunker adjustment factor, BAF. Then we have currency adjustment factor, CAF, and there is a surcharge called heavyweight charge. So these are the important categories. And basically, this port congestion surcharge. So this is also, you can imagine how many types of taxes and surcharges are levied on this international trade. Then we also have peak season surcharge. So, there are many types of surcharges. So all these are very important. Do learn these topics. Then what are the services provided by International Maritime Bureau? In short, it is known as IMB. And basically, it is a specialized department of ICC, Chamber of Commerce, that is International Chamber of Commerce. And the main aim is to control the crimes related to maritime trade and transportation. This line is very important, and it tries to reduce the piracy and commercial frauds attached with international trade. It protects the crews of ocean going vessels. For this, every week it produces or publishes a piracy report. So every ship should consider this report. Then it has a 24/7 piracy reporting center in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So anyone can report there. And its main divisions include these three. First is Counterfeiting Intelligence Bureau, the Financial Investigation Bureau, and Fraudnet. So these are the three main divisions of Maritime Bureau. Okay, very important question. Okay, आगे चलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन में. व्हाट आर मैरीटाइम फ्रॉड्स? ये भी क्वेश्चन बहुत कॉमन क्वेश्चन है, हर साल एग्जाम्स में स्ट्राइक करता है ये क्वेश्चन. एंड लेट्स सी मैरीटाइम फ्रॉड्स क्या होता है. इट रिफर्स टू द इलीगल प्रैक्टिस ऑफ ऑब्टेनिंग गुड्स और मनी ड्यूरिंग मैरीटाइम ट्रेड. and all the times many parties are joined together in this fraud, such as traders, bankers, shippers, insurers, captain of the ship. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो इस फ्रॉड में they participate in this type of frauds. And let's see the different factors which leads to maritime frauds होते क्यों हैं? So basically, when the government is not very strict and disciplined on the international trade, and secondly, overlooking of the documents, importers and exporters के जो documents हैं, बहुत सारे documents होते हैं, तो अगर उनकी overlooking करते हैं, and if the government is ignoring them, so that is a big blunder, big mistake, and that leads to maritime fraud. Then we have there is lack of action. Even if the fraud is detected in time, the government sometimes unable to take proper action against that. And there is a complex process of handling international disputes, because इंटरनेशनल डिस्प्यूट सेटलमेंट ब्यूरोज जो हैं, जो भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, तो बहुत ही लेंदी प्रोसेस है. ओके, आगे चलते हैं. इंटरनेशनल चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स, ये भी बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. आप लोगों ने बहुत बार इसके बारे में सुना भी होगा. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन, आईसीसी, इंटरनेशनल चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स. देखते हैं ये व्हाट इज दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड व्हाट आर द मेन ऑब्जेक्ट्स. इट इज इन फैक्ट द लार्जेस्ट बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन in the world, having 45 million member companies and from more than 100 countries as its member. And the main aim is to foster international trade and commerce, to promote and protect open markets for goods and services and free flow of capital from one country to another. And it also performs a lot of other functions for business, like establishment of international trade rules. Then it also dispute resolution, settlement of disputes, policy advocacy, and also provides training to the importers and exporters on how to do international business. So there are actually ICC has a lot of committees which looks after different problems faced by the traders. So basically it always maintain a contact with UN, United Nations, and WTO and other intergovernmental agencies for the smooth functioning of international trade. Now these are the two basic, in fact three important functions of International Chamber of Commerce. First, to frame policies that benefit members in every area of business, and to establish rules that help member to achieve such policies, and to settle disputes among the traders or member countries. Okay, let's move on to the next question. IMO, that is International Maritime Organization. Now this is also a very important question, because all these questions I have collected from the last 10 years, so it's going to be very important for you, right? The International Maritime Organization is a specialized agency of the UN, United Nations, and it is basically responsible to improve the safety and security of international shipping and prevent maritime pollution from ships. And basically it has 175 member countries, and there are also 3 associate members that are not considered. These are all these countries like Hong Kong, Macau, and Faroe Islands. And they set IMO sets standard for safety and security of international shipping, and one of the key duties of this is to devise strategies and measures to keep waterways clean and prevents them from all sorts of water pollution. And IMO is a governing body, the assembly, and it meets after every 2 years to have a good discussion on controlling the water pollution or ocean pollution. So like this, तो यहाँ से आपको मालूम चल गया होगा कि इसके मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या हैं. एंड ये स्लोगन आपको जरूर आंसर में मेंशन करना है: सेफ, सिक्योर एंड एफिशिएंट शिपिंग ऑन क्लीन ओशियन. So this is the basic motto, the basic slogan of IMO, right? तो मेनली पॉल्यूशन को कंट्रोल करना है, राइट. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट आर द स्टेप्स इन्वॉल्व्ड इन हैंडलिंग एक्सपोर्ट ऑर्डर? एक एक्सपोर्ट, इफ यू आर एन एक्सपोर्टर and you have got an order to export, so how you will proceed with your export, right? First you will receive the order, receipt of an order, then you will obtain export license, because without this license you cannot do exports. Then obtaining letter of credit, then fixing exchange rates, then foreign exchange rates for foreign exchange formalities that should be met, fixed, and then preparation of the order, and then formalities of the C&F agents, forwarding and clearing agents. Then you must collect bill of lading and then present all the documents to the bank and port authorities, and lastly realization of the export proceeds. That means आपने जो भी एक्सपोर्ट किया है उसका पेमेंट आपको टाइमली मिल जाए. ओके, आगे चलते हैं. व्हाट आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट क्लॉजेस ऑफ चार्टर पार्टी, राइट? ये भी बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. सबसे पहले समझते हैं कि ये चार्टर पार्टी होता क्या है. व्हाट इज दैट? इट इज अ मैरीटाइम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन ए शिप ओनर एंड ए चार्टरर टू हायर ए शिप फॉर ए स्पेसिफिक वॉयज. एक पर्टिकुलर वॉयज के लिए एक शिप ओनर और एक चार्टरर, इन दोनों के बीच में एक एग्रीमेंट बनता है, एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनता है, and that contract is called charter party. And let's see the main clauses, the main contents of charter party. Name, place, date and domiciles of the contracting parties, name and description of the vessel, then cargo description, like what is cargo all about, कैसा टाइप का गुड्स है जो आप import export करना है, then loading price and port, then freight and cost of loading, duties and taxes to be paid, bill of lading, port of destination and signature of both the parties. So all these are the different contents of charter party clauses. Okay, now ये देखते हैं मेन डिफरेंस between voyage charter party and time charter party. Charter party भी again they can be divided into voyage and time. So in voyage charter party, the ship owner is responsible for all the technical and commercial management, whereas in time charter party, the ship owner is responsible for the maintenance of the ship, while the commercial control lies with the charterer. And in voyage charter party, all types of costs related to maintenance, crew, etc. are borne by the ship owner, whereas the costs here are divided between the ship owner and the charterer. There are some more differences, like voyage charter party contracts are signed to carry a specific amount of goods between the at predetermined route, and but here the contracts are signed for a limited period of time without dictating a fixed route. ठीक है, तो ये रूट को लेके डिफरेंस हो गया. So like this you can write some more difference. Okay, आगे चलते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ सेंट्रल वेयरहाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन CWC? Okay, basically it is related with India, and this is set up by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs in 1962. Already we have an act that is called the Warehousing Corporation Act, and under this act all the all the government houses, they are regulated. The main aim of this CWC is to provide a reliable, cost effective, value added and integrated warehousing and logistics solution in a socially responsible and friendly manner. And it is a public warehouse operator, basically established by the government of India way back in 1957. And Central Warehousing Corporation is a public sector enterprise engaged in warehousing of activities, particularly of the food. इस पे आपको थोड़ा हाईलाइट देना है. You might have seen near the stations and port area, government warehouses are there, and they are generally CWC. And these are the main functions of Central Warehousing Corporation: to build godowns and warehouses at different locations in India, to store agricultural products like seeds, fertilizers, grains, like that. It also acts an agent to the government for the purchase, sale, storage, and distribution of essential commodities, because India is a democratic country. So it always looks after the welfare of the people in India. And fourthly, transportation of commodities right from the place of storage to the marketplace. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Explain the private sector participation in the development of ports. Private industries, yeah, private individuals, like how they can develop, what contribution they can make in the development of Indian ports. Basically, the ports are divided into two categories. First is major ports and minor ports. Major ports are managed by the central government, whereas minor ports are given to the state governments. And India has opened doors for private participation in the year 1996, this year, very important one. And a lot of private sector enterprises, they are all invited to make investment in Indian ports, basically by way of lease finance or lease of equipments, like that. Okay. Next question is, why inland water transport rarely used in the movement of export import cargo in India? Inland, just try to understand the question. This is inland water transport, right? Inland transportation includes all these rivers, lakes, canals, backwaters, reservoirs. Primarily, these are all the sources of inland waterways. And these are not used properly in India. This is one problem. And okay, so like, what are the factors that should be considered when you are choosing a mode of inland transport? Firstly, cost of service, like what is the cost involved, expenses involved. Then what is the speed of transportation. Then like consistency and regularity of services. Then safety of logistics, flexibility of operation, how dynamic it is, can it be changed, and ancillary services provided by the transport. So all these things, we can write, we can explain all these points before choosing a inland mode of transport. Okay, so these are all problems, right? So the next question is, what is containerization, and state its advantages and disadvantages. Basically, containerization, the word comes from containers. You might have seen that big containers in which cargoes are moved from one place to another, and in the ship also they are widely used. And these are specialized intermodal containers, and these are also known as shipping containers. And when it comes to import or export, containers are used. And what is the importance of containers? Let's see. Basically, it helps to place the cargo in large containers. Variety of goods can be moved or transported through containers. Easy and professional handling of cargo. Now this is one of the most important advantage attached to containers. Then we have economies of large scale, because always economies of large scale का मतलब हो गया, like when we are buying in lot, in wholesale, in huge quantity, so that reduces the cost. So like that. And basically, the average life of one container is about 25 years, 10 to 25 years. And the cargo is safe and secure. This is also very important point. And standardization of services. It looks good, of international standard. The cargo is safe. Containers में हमेशा safe रहता है. Let's see the different advantages. Containers are loaded and unloaded quite easily through mechanized equipments, cranes, and all that. And they can be containers can be used for long distances by truck, train, ocean vessels, ships, like that. And they can be transferred from one place to another without being opened up. ठीक है, उनको खोलने की जरूरत नहीं है. Right from container to container directly shift कर सकते हैं. And दे प्रोटेक्ट द गुड. ये सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट इसका एडवांटेज है कि गुड्स आर सेफ इन कंटेनर्स एंड कंटेनर्स कैन बी ट्रैक्ड बिकॉज दे हैव ऑल स्पेशल numbers and codes, so through which the goods, the cargoes can be easily tracked. Then there are some disadvantages attached to containers, like it costs a lot of money. Then storing container is a huge challenge because बहुत बड़े होते हैं, तो इनको स्टोर करना गोडाउन्स में इट्स ह्यूज चैलेंजिंग जॉब. Then the cost of transporting a container is generally very very high. So like that, there are different disadvantages. Okay, the different types of containers used in international trade, as we can see here, how many types of containers can be used for international trade. So this one is the first one, that is dry storage container, then flat rack container, then open up container. बहुत type के containers हैं, and according to their sizes and their specific functions, they are all termed. Then open side container, ये side से खुलता है. Then refrigerated ISO containers, that means all these fruits, vegetables, वो सब उसके लिए you need some special refrigerated containers. So like this, you can explain these points. So friends, that's all in this video, and this is the part 1, and soon you will get part 2 of IBO 05, right? Thank you for watching. Best of luck.